So here I am, I'm finally making another video. As you saw right there, I had just stepped into medium format. And my first camera for medium format, believe it or not, it's not a Holga. A lot of people go Holgas first. However, mine is a Mamiya C330 TLR camera. And this thing is a beast. I love it. It is amazing. I've had it for about a little over a month now. And I didn't want to make a video until I had everything set up, until I had all the functions down and knew what I was doing. Now I feel like I have a little bit more knowledge. I know what I'm doing. I've checked out the videos. I'm sure there's a lot of videos out there on the C330, but there are a few things that might not be in the videos. And this one I bought, it was very inexpensive, and I paid less than 300 bucks for it, just under $300. And that came with a 250 millimeter lens. Now, 250 is a little long for me, you know, to first get into medium format. So I turned around and I purchased an 80 millimeter. And this lens is a dream. And it's a self-cocking lens. As soon as you wind the film, it cocks the shutter for you. And the great thing about that is that once it's cocked, you're not locked into that shutter speed. You can adjust the dial to change your shutter speed while it's already cocked, and it will adjust to the dial itself. And so that's a great feature, because when I first got it, I thought I was locked in. As soon as I cocked it, I was like, oh crap, now I'm locked into 2/50th of a second and I have to go slower. But I'm not. And through trial and error, I found that out. So this morning there was all cloudy, absolutely no sun, and it was dead. And unfortunately, I put in the Delta 100, the Ilford Delta 100 Pro, and because I love shooting 100, and I had to drop it all the way down. I had to put it on f4 and run at 1/15th of a second, and it was crazy. And so, but now the sun's starting to like peak a little bit and give a slight shadow, so I think I can get better tones with this film. I have it set for 100. If I knew that the sun wouldn't come out, that I would have to maybe push it to 200 or even 400. But it's not. It's here, and it's giving a slight shadow, and it's going to work out just great, I believe. I took a few shots at South Hills Park in Lebanon, and now I took 3 shots there. Now, on medium format 120 film, you get 12 shots and that's it. Okay, so I took 3 shots there, and I came up here to the Mount Lebanon Cemetery, because I figured with this overcast skies, and it's very picturesque here. There's a lot of good stuff here, a lot of angles to get and stuff like that. So I came up here, and the sun's starting to peak a little bit, so this is just going to work out great. So I got 9 more shots to take, and if the sun doesn't come out any more than this, I might switch to Tri-X 400, or even HP5, those are 400 speed films, and they might be a little bit better. So I do not have a light meter. I do, however, have my Nikon D7000 DSLR. Now, so I'm going to use that as my light meter. I'm going to set it to aperture priority. And I will put the aperture that I'm using on my Mamiya onto the DSLR. And of course, I'm going to set the ISO on the DSLR also for 100, which is the speed of the film, and I have it set on the C330. And so what I'll do is I'll scan the image that I want to take, and I'll check different locations. I'll spot meter it to different, locations in that frame to see what shutter speed it's giving me. Okay, and if I need to adjust it, I'm not going to adjust it in the DSLR. I'm going to adjust it on the fly in the camera itself. And I also log everything that I do. I log the aperture, the shutter, the ISO, the camera itself, the location, what I'm taking the photo of, the sky, the conditions that I'm shooting under, and things like that. So let me show you a couple of photos that I took first thing this morning. Like I said, I do believe that I shot them at f4, 1/15th of a second, and I'm hoping there's no camera shake because I did not bring my shutter release cable. So let's take a look at those, and then we'll come back here to the cemetery, and I'll show you around a little bit, and I'll show you my next few shots, and then I'll again show you those images. Okay, so let's look at them real quick right here. Okay, so I'm gonna have to apologize for those first few photos. They did not turn out the greatest. Come to find out, I switched lenses on my DSLR this morning. Okay, I had a long lens on there. I had something like a 70 to 200 on there, and so I switched it back to the kit lens, the 18 to 55. And so I guess what I neglected to look at is that there was a filter on the lens. Yes, and so that's why I was getting such low readings. And as the sun started to come out, to peak just a little bit, I started wondering why my shutter speeds weren't showing any much of a difference. And that's when I noticed that I had a filter on. So I apologize for the first few photos, but here's a couple that I just took without the filter on the lens to get a perfect, or a more correct exposure. Let's take a look at these ones real quick, and I want to show you around quick. I want to walk with you here and show you this cemetery. It's really quiet, really serene. It's something to behold. Okay, so take a look at these ones that I did without that filter to get a correct reading, and then I'll come back and I'll show you a little bit more. Well, sorry about that little mishap there. It started to rain, so I didn't get a chance to take you around the cemetery like I wanted to. So I grabbed something to eat quick at a fast food joint, and I came back up here to Palmyra, which is where I live. I'm going to take a few shots. I finished that roll, so there's 12 shots of the Delta 100. So I'm going to put in another roll of film, and then I'm going to go out and I'm going to take a few more shots for you, and I'm going to show you around. Hopefully I get some good shots. I might go with a 400. I'm not sure yet, the speed of the film. So let me take you around a little bit. I'm going to take this camera over. I'm going to set it up. I'm going to get ready to go, and I'm going to take a few shots. And those shots I'm going to show you right here. Well, I hope you enjoyed them shots. My, as you can see, it got very bright out here today, and like I said, I had in the 400, I had HP5 in there, and it was 400 speed. I ran at box speed, but the shutter speed on that only goes as high as 500. 1/500th of a second is as high as that 80mm lens will go. So what I did is I took my last two shots inside the house and adjusted accordingly in there. Nothing spectacular. I'm not going to show you those ones. They were just to finish up the roll. I hope you enjoyed them. On the next video, what I'm going to do is I want to take you inside the C330 and totally show you everything I've learned about it so far to this point. And then if you have any suggestions, hints, or anything to add to that, just leave them down in the comment section below. I appreciate that. But for now, yes, I'm going to call it here, and I'm going to add a couple photos to the end of this video from the last time I had it out and there was snow on the ground. So enjoy these photos, and until next time, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe, and I'll see you next time.